Hey friends, it is Brigie from Boujee, Texas Barbecue, and on today's episode, we're making a Cajun honey whole turkey. So let's begin. The first thing I did was prepare my wet brine. In an ice chest, I added icy cold water. It's so crucial to keep your turkey cold throughout the brine. The next thing I'm going to add to my wet brine is some fresh herbs, some bay leaves, bell peppers, green onions, and lots of lemons. And this step is optional, but I'm adding a lot of garlic. Next, you're going to want to add some apple cider vinegar. Next, I'm adding seasonings. I'm adding my favorite Cajun seasoning along with some garlic powder, onion powder, white pepper, regular coarse black pepper, along with a little bit of lemon butter seasoning. Avoid adding super salty seasonings because you might dry out your turkey. Also, make sure and give your brine a good mix so those seasonings don't automatically float to the bottom. Now it's time to add our turkey. This bird weighed 21 pounds. Make sure your bird is fully submerged. If it's too big like this one, you can just go ahead and flip it so the spine is upward. We want to make sure our turkey gets all those flavors. Now let's talk about our brining time. We are going to do a 12-hour wet brine, and then we're going to do a 12-hour dry brine, but make sure you rinse the turkey off before doing your dry brine. Here are a couple things I use to prep my turkey. For the skin of the turkey, I'm using clarified butter along with the same seasonings I added to the brine. I also prepared my own honey butter herb injection that I'll have the ingredient list down below, but this is what I'm going to be injecting my bird with. All I need to do is filter it out before adding it to my injecting tube. I am using the Oklahoma Joe's 2-in-1 spray / injecting bottle. Okay, so the smoker is currently heating up and our bird is ready to be injected, but first I'm going to prep this clarified butter. Now the reason I'm using clarified butter is because it has no water in it. This is going to help crisp up our skin throughout the cook. All I'm going to do is add my seasonings directly into the butter and give it a good mix. These next steps are going to get pretty messy, but that's okay. It's going to ultimately result in a beautiful, juicy turkey. Don't believe me? Skip to the ending and you'll see the results. And yeah, I know this prep is a lot, but this is the showstopper turkey. This is the turkey that everyone is going to be talking about. But anyway, prepping. You are going to want to inject your bird until it doubles in size. Of course, the breast is the most important part to inject, so you want to make sure that you get your needle in pretty deep, as well as the very top of the turkey, because we all know turkey breast dries out so easily. But don't forget about the other parts of the turkey like the wings. And yes, we all know dark meat is usually juicier than white meat, but we're still going to go ahead and inject it. This is also because this is such a big bird, we want to make sure we distribute flavor throughout the turkey. This prep is absolutely tedious and it is a lot to prep, but cooking a whole turkey is not that easy, especially because getting white meat and dark meat to cook evenly is not easy. Which brings me to my next topic. We are going to stuff this bird. I'm using bell peppers, the same herbs, and lemon to stuff the bird. This is another way we're going to impact flavor into the turkey. And filling that cavity hole is going to help our bird cook evenly. Having that cavity filled is going to slow down the smoking process in the turkey breast, which will help our turkey cook more evenly. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up stuffing the bird and then we can talk more about seasoning our turkey. So when it comes to the seasoned clarified butter, you pretty much just have to pour it directly onto the bird. It is absolutely messy, but I promise it's worth it. This is also the only time I will ever approve rubbing your seasoning in versus patting your seasoning into the meat. But that's pretty much all you have to do. You just have to pour it on and lather your turkey in that seasoned clarified butter. And yes, it does make an absolute mess, but that's okay. Remember, we're making the showstopper turkey. Okay, now that our turkey is nice and lathered, we are going to prep the turkey legs. To prevent them from overcooking, you're just going to get some chicken twine and tie them together. And it's absolutely easier said than done. I should have changed my gloves before doing this step, so do yourself a favor, don't make the same mistake I did. Change your gloves when you tie the twine. Now we can't forget about the turkey wings. These turkey wings are sticking out, which means they will overcook. So with a toothpick or a skewer, you're going to want to place it as close to the breast as possible. You need a couple of toothpicks depending on how big your bird is, and don't poke yourself. Mom tip of the day, use a spoon to press against the toothpicks to keep your turkey wings in place and prevent injury. And that wraps up the prep of our whole turkey. Our smoker should be up to temp now, so we're gonna go ahead and head outside. Today I'm using Oklahoma Joe's Tahoma 900, and I filled my hopper with charcoal briquettes along with some apple wood chips and cherry wood chips. We're gonna smoke our turkey at 275 degrees for 90 minutes. After 90 minutes, we are going to rotate our bird to make sure it cooks evenly. Using a large cooking tray definitely helps this process, and it's actually another layer to protect your bird. I also added some wireless thermometers in the white meat and dark meat to monitor the internal temperature. We are now officially 3 hours into our cook, and I'm gonna begin to baste. I'm basting my bird with honey, butter, and more Cajun seasoning. Be careful not to touch the skin because we don't want to ruin our pretty bark. Make sure you baste the entire turkey. This step is going to help crisp up the skin. Another way we're going to crisp up the skin is we are going to increase the temperature from 275 degrees to 300. And we're going to continue smoking until it reaches an internal temp of 165 degrees. Then rest it for about 20 to 30 minutes before slicing. And as tempting as it is, it's important not to let your turkey rest in the oven, and here's why. Resting the turkey in the oven or covering it will ruin your crispy skin. It's a good chance you will create humidity and your skin will get soggy, so let it rest at room temperature. Alright guys, so my turkey has officially rested for 30 minutes. The skin is crispy, so you know what that means. It's time to slice. And of course, I have to begin with the breast. And don't worry, I'm going to take this turkey apart so y'all can see exactly how juicy it came out. It has perfectly crispy skin and a juicy turkey breast, but this part is a little hard to see on camera. So I'm going to apply a little pressure and go deeper into the white meat. So this next piece is going to be a little bit thicker. Slicing a turkey is definitely my weakness, but that's okay. I really just want to show you how juicy this white meat is, which I'm about to show you in this next close-up. So you can see we got a smoke ring and you can see the moisture within the meat. I'm not a big meat squeezer, but the camera does this turkey no justice. It is extremely moist. And even this really thick part of the turkey breast is still juicy. And we even got a nice looking smoke ring. That's not blood guys, that's a smoke ring. Alright, so let's move on to the dark meat. I'm definitely going to cut more into the breast, but I want to check out the dark meat. And per usual, the dark meat did not disappoint. Juices were flowing as soon as I cut into it. Now, I already know what y'all are thinking. That is not an undercooked turkey, that's actually a smoke ring. The dark meat got a really insane looking smoke ring. As you can see, these juices are running clear. If it was red juice or pink juice, it would absolutely mean it's undercooked. For example, this piece of dark meat that I pulled out has a really thick smoke ring. I also made sure the thickest part of the dark meat temped at 165 before I pulled the bird off. And just to verify, I'm going to cut deeper into the turkey. And as you can see, all the juices are coming out are clear. But just to be safe, let's take a closer look into our turkey breast. 9 out of 10 times if your bird is undercooked, it's usually towards the bottom. So I pulled out this bottom end piece and I want to show y'all the pretty side of the turkey since I kind of ripped it apart and show you all the clear juices that are running through. And that this turkey breast is extremely juicy. Now there's only one thing left to do. Are you gonna eat the white meat first, or are you gonna go into that juicy dark meat? Let me know down below. Happy holidays!